Hello, welcome in. My name's Helena. Let me ask you something. Have you ever snapped at somebody you love and then realized a few minutes later you weren't actually angry or you don't know why you did it? But if you really tune into yourself, it's likely because you're exhausted or you're hungry or you're overwhelmed. But you didn't notice any of that until after the reaction. And suddenly you're apologizing, thinking, wow, this wasn't really about them. Or maybe you're so hungry, your stomach actually hurts, and you realize it's 3 p.m. I've forgotten to eat. Not because food wasn't available, but because you didn't notice the signal from the body until it got really, really loud. Or maybe you've been living with a really tight shoulder or a sore back for months and months and months. You're stretching it, you're noticing the pain until finally, when you do go and see somebody, because everybody around you is like, please go and get this checked out, you realize you've actually been walking around with a slip disc. And part of you thinks, how did I not realize this sooner? Why did I not realize this sooner? If any of those situations sound familiar, something interesting might be happening. Not that your body isn't talking to you, but that somewhere along the way you stopped hearing what it was saying. Most of us think we're pretty aware of ourselves, but notice how often the body's signals often become clear after something breaks. You realize you're exhausted after you snap at somebody. You realize you're starving after a meeting ends. You realize you're overwhelmed when your motivation suddenly disappears and you can't even get up in the morning. The signal has actually been there long before that breaking point. It just wasn't translated. And this shows up in so many smaller ways. Somebody asks what you want to eat, and you say, I'm easy, you choose. And it's not because you genuinely don't care, it's because you've stopped checking in with yourself to check what you do actually want. Or you organize something thoughtful for somebody else. You remember their massage appointment, you make sure they're taken care of. Meanwhile, your own shoulders have been tight for weeks, and you haven't even considered booking something for yourself. None of these things feel so dramatic when they're taken in isolation. They just feel like life is busy, life is hectic, you got stuff to do, you got places to go, people to see. But underneath them is something very, very subtle. Your body has been sending you signals all the time. It's been telling you about hunger, fatigue, tension, preference, need. But slowly, slowly, over time, you stopped listening. And here's the part most people don't realize. This doesn't happen because we're careless. It usually starts very, very early in life. As children, our bodies are very clear. A baby cries when it's hungry. A toddler says no when something feels wrong. Children feel their needs instantly. But somewhere along the way, many of us learn something different. We learn that other things matter more than our needs. Maybe it's other people's comfort. Maybe it's other people's expectations. Maybe it's other people's needs. Sometimes this happens because the caregivers around us are just so overwhelmed that they don't have the capacity to look after us and our needs. It's not because they don't care, but simply because they do not have that capacity to respond to everything a child feels. And so the child learns to adapt. They learn to wait. They learn to minimize their needs. They learn not to make things harder for everyone around them. Maybe they become the helpful one, the easy one, the responsible one, the one who doesn't cause problems. Maybe you're the older sibling and you had to look after your other siblings, so your needs couldn't matter as much as theirs. And this adaptation is actually really intelligent. It helps relationships stay stable. It helps the environment stay calm. It keeps you safe often as a child. But there's a hidden cost to all of this. The child starts learning something very subtle. My needs are less important than the situation and the people around me. So instead of asking, what do I need now? The system becomes trained to ask, what will keep things working? What will keep things progressing? And that pattern doesn't disappear when we grow up. It just becomes very efficient and it's running in the subconscious beneath our conscious awareness. So by adulthood, many people are very, very good at functioning this way. They're capable, they're reliable, they're productive, they get things done. But the body is still sending that information. It's still saying, I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed, I need rest, I need space. You need something different. The signals never actually stop, but the translation is what gets lost. So instead of hearing, I need a break, you push through. Instead of hearing, I'm overwhelmed, you think, oh my goodness, why am I suddenly procrastinating or unmotivated? Instead of hearing, I'm exhausted, you realize it only after you snap at somebody or you can't get out of bed in the morning. Your body has been trying to tell you that for hours and hours earlier. This matters because when signals keep getting sent and they keep getting missed, the body does not stop communicating, it just gets louder. Tension becomes chronic pain. That fatigue that you've been ignoring, that one becomes burnout. Your overwhelm turns into constant anxiety. You get a loss of motivation. You just can't be bothered. You don't have the energy reserves anymore. You get tons of different health issues. Emotional reactions seem completely out of proportion. And most people think these things come out of nowhere, but they rarely do. They're usually signals that have been trying to get through for a long, long time. Your body hasn't stopped talking. It's just had to increase the volume to get your attention. So the real shift isn't about becoming somebody completely different. It's something much simpler than that. It's starting to notice the signals earlier, before the snap, before the shutdown, before the exhaustion takes over your body. Just pausing and asking a different question, checking in just 3 times a day with an alarm on your phone to say, what do I need right now? Checking in with the body. What does it need? Does it need a bathroom break? Does it need a glass of water? Do you need a rest? Are you tired? Do you need 5 minutes? Do you need a 5 minute meditation? Maybe you need to stretch or walk. But learning to reconnect the brain with the body is one of the most important things that you can do for your longevity, so that when you're thriving, when your business is growing, when you want to thrive in your career, you actually have the capacity to do those things so that the body isn't going to give up on you because it's not being heard. Just checking in and asking, what do I need in this space right now? Because the signals are still there. They never left. Your body has been speaking to you your entire life. The only thing that got lost was the translation. And the really, really good news is that that translation is something that you can learn again very fast, very quickly, with enough intention to reconnect yourself with the body. And when you do that, you might start to see that there are other implications and impacts, bigger and better than you could ever have hoped for. Because when you've tapped back into the wisdom of the body, when you've reconnected the brain and body, you'll start to notice things like your intuition, which can be absolutely fundamental in business decisions. You'll start to notice all of the ways that actually the body is sending signals, all of the places that it might be telling you that a situation feels off, but because you're not connected to the body, you just gung ho and go into it anyway. All of these things will make you more successful. So if something in this video felt familiar, I'm curious, what signal from your body do you tend to miss most often? Is it hunger? Is it fatigue? Is it overwhelm? Let me know in the comments. I read everyone. And if you want to go deeper into understanding any of this, the nervous system, the deeper subconscious patterns at work, check out the links and resources because they're all here in my YouTube channel.